Happy Monday, my friends. Thad Riley and your Motivational Monday on episode 293 of the Thadcast. Thank you for taking that time to hang out with this guy today. And we're talking about gifts. I got to tell you, I get fired up about this episode of the Thadcast because I didn't even plan in my head that this would be the Motivational Monday episode, but it all came together and I sat down to record and I'm like, holy cow, it's Motivational Monday. And on Motivational Monday, the purpose is to get you going off on the right foot for your week, to get you encouraged and to start off on the right note, in a positive note, in a hopeful note. And boy, do we need that in our world today. So I wanted to share a little bit about my story of gifts, and maybe you can connect a little bit with me. When I was a sophomore in high school, I had an English teacher pull me aside, Mrs. Pellish, and she said, "Thad, you are a writer. You are a writer, and you are probably going to be a writer, and you have a gift." And I was like, excuse me, I'm barely passing your class, and you're telling me this, and I'm not getting it. I don't see it. I don't know. And actually it was funny because one of my best friends at the time, a guy named Dave Mahanes, I love Dave, by the way. I still keep in touch with him today sometimes. And he said the same thing. "Dude, you're a writer. You're a writer." I'm like, what? And today I've written 2 books and I'll start that third in one day. I already know the topic, by the way. I'm not telling you today. But that is something that has culminated in my life. Not because people influenced me and told me to do it. The affirmation, though, is what makes that happen sometimes, right? But because it was a gift that the Lord has given me. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Another gift I didn't even touch for 43 years. No clue. It wasn't even in my mind in the slightest possible facet. I don't know how to explain it. One day I got on this stationary bike, this indoor cycling bike in a classroom, and I thought it was the worst thing ever. 5.5 years later, well, not from that date, but for the past 5.5 years, I've been an indoor cycling instructor. If you and I went dancing, it wouldn't be a pretty thing. You wouldn't be impressed. I'm not a good dancer. It's not that I'm not a good dancer on the dance floor, zero rhythm whatsoever. I get on the bike though, and I can dance all over the thing, totally under control. But the rhythm works in me when I'm on the bike in a whole different kind of way. I feel the music and it just goes in my head and my body, and it just goes. I can't explain it to you. I don't know why it's different on the bike than it would be dancing. It just is. It just works itself out. I can't explain to you why I can go so fast. I've been up to 215 RPMs on a bike. It's a weird thing. That's super fast, by the way. And I don't know why. I don't know why I don't run out of energy, why I'm so strong on the bike. It's just, maybe part of it is skills developed over the years, but I pretty much got on the bike when I started teaching, and that was my thing. That's how it worked. I don't have all the answers. I just know that God has given us certain gifts. In fact, in 1 Corinthians 12, chapter 12 is our context today. It says, "There are different kinds of spiritual gifts, but the same Spirit is the source of them all. God is the giver of all good gifts." Huh. Well, that's phenomenal, because first of all, in Psalm 139, as we talk about here in the Thadcast, we know that God created us. We know that God was behind those doors in the womb and made things happen and created you uniquely and special. You are a unique creation, unlike the 25 billion possibly people that I don't know what the number is, 125 billion, I think it is, people that have possibly walked this earth. You are a unique and special creation by God, and He has given you each a gift. There's more though. If God has given us these gifts, what does that mean? Well, that means there is a purpose. There is a certainty to that gift. That gift can and should and will be used, sometimes against our own will. And maybe that's how we discover it, my friends. Let me go on in the passage, though. Let me go on. A spiritual gift is given to each of us so we can help each other To one person, the Spirit gives the ability to give wise advice. To another, the same Spirit gives a message of special knowledge. The same Spirit gives great faith to another, and to someone else, the Spirit gives the gift of healing. He gives one person the power to perform miracles and another the ability to prophesy. He gives someone else the ability to discern whether a message is from the Spirit of God or from another spirit. Still another person is given the ability to speak in unknown languages, while another is given the ability to interpret what is being said. It is the one and only Spirit who distributes all these gifts. He alone decides what gift each person should have. Wow. How cool is that? It is the Spirit behind it, uniquely giving all these gifts out. So how do you figure out your gifts? Well, the best way is through affirmation. Affirmation of people who are spiritually mature, who are already in your life, who know you and love you, and can tell you and affirm you the gifts that you have. So if you haven't had that happen, find those people in your life and connect with them and talk to them about your spiritual gifts. Secondly, there are online tests everywhere about this. Find one that is biblically based, because it's going to get to the heart of it. Okay, it's going to get to the heart of the matter and probably give you some unique guidance. Find a biblically based spiritual gift test. In fact, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, I'll try to drop a couple resources in the comments. If you know of any, drop them in the comments on my Instagram or Facebook page. It's my personal page, not my podcast page. I've done a horrible job with that. We'll get there one day. That it's not a gift right now, right? But those online gift tests can help you. And then develop that gift, right? Develop that gift. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end, though. Final passage. Are we all apostles? Are we all prophets? Are we all teachers? Do we all have the power to do miracles? Do we all have the gift of teaching? Do we all have the ability to speak unknown languages? Do we all have the ability to interpret unknown languages? Of course not. So you should earnestly desire the most helpful gifts and your gifts, right? And it doesn't say and your gifts, but I think the point of the Apostle Paul is very clear. Comparison is a punk. Don't compare your gifts. Don't envy the gifts of others. God has created you uniquely and giving you special gifts for you to use and embrace and to change the world. Don't envy the gifts that you do not have. God has made you so special. The world needs you and your gifts. Don't worry about what anyone else's giftedness is. You may have no one around you with your gift. That's okay. Go forward with the gifts that you have. Do the work that it takes to fully embrace your gifts. And think of it this way. Christ is the head of the church, okay? Christ is the head, and that means that we're the body, and we're each unique, right? The hand, the right hand, the left hand, the right foot, the left foot, the liver, the organs. Each of us is uniquely made, just like the body. That's the illustration in this passage in 1 Corinthians 12 that God talks about for us here, that the Apostle Paul talks about. So my point is, we are unique. Christ is the head. Embrace your gifts and never want. You can desire at some level, but don't even desire. Desire to know your gifts and to use your gifts more and more, my friends. 3 closing points of application for you. Number 1, discover your gift. Number 2, develop, learn about, study your gift, read books about your gift, embrace that gift, become embroiled in it, love it, have fun with it, do it, live it. And finally, distribute. Give that gift back to God and then to the world. Do it to honor God and who He is. And give of yourself to the world and make it a better place, because we need you. We do need you right now. It's a good time. It's a good time for you to get engaged in your gifts. And I hope that you will do that today. I hope you will discover, develop, and distribute those gifts and help make the world a little bit of a better and a brighter place for us all. Well, that's it. That's it on your Motivational Monday, episode number 293, if you can believe it, of the Thadcast. As always, if you share this with a friend or on social media, that helps me so much. If you can do a review on iTunes, that's the same thing. Connect with me on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of the podcasting kind of thing that you can catch up with here. And we will be back, hopefully, I think Wednesday, with another episode. We'll see if we can get something special out for tomorrow for y'all, because I know it's a crazy week. just let me know if I can pray for you. Reach out to me. You can message me as well. This thing is built to encourage the world around us, and I hope it did that for you today. And thank you again for joining me. And until next time, my dear friends, may you be blessed.